Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for July 10th, 2014. And this frontal boundary that has been kind of been a pesky thorn in our side over the last couple days with providing some severe weather opportunities, really more so on your day on Tuesday. But again, we have one or two reports over here, or coverage area here during the day on Wednesday as well, with some severe reports. But this cold front is what's really been responsible for that in one form or another. And here is the expected cold front position at this point this morning. Now, with this cold front in this position, we think it's going to get down here to this into the basically the very southern portion of our coverage area here, draped across Delaware and southern New Jersey, and it's going to remain there. I think it's going to wind up stalling. It might do so for maybe 24 hours or so, or 24 to 36 hours. It might just kind of sit here and hang out here. Combine this with, we do have high pressure moving in from the north, so it's going to be kind of a battle of what's going to win out here. Dry air moving in from the north and pushing to the south here, but is trying to push south, and then you have this cold front here that's trying to stick exactly where it is. So it's going to be a battle between the two, and I do think there's going to be some convection along that frontal boundary, at least in the vicinity of southeastern PA, Delaware, and southern New Jersey. Not really sure we're dealing with severe weather here. I don't think we are, and that's because there's going to be some clouds around early on here that's going to affect allow for some convective inhibition. And whenever time you have cloud cover, of course, it limits the severe threat. So I'm not expecting anything like that today. We are going to have to watch a chance for some showers and thunderstorms because, again, this boundary is just sitting right across this part of the coverage area here. And some models are actually extending some of this precipitation pretty far to the north here. How far it gets, but it would be later in the evening when it does so, as a vortex moves across that frontal boundary. So we're going to go look at the NAM. The NAM is actually the most aggressive with it. This is actually looking at Thursday evening in south central PA. It has some showers and storms moving across parts of our coverage area here. That moves over to southeastern PA, east central PA, and then finally moves out. Now this is, so we'll have to watch out for this evening here to see if this does develop here, in fact. But you see what's going on here. Much of the overnight period here, this is southern New Jersey and Delaware are getting a pretty decent amount of rain, at least according to the NAM here. And the same thing again on Friday, because that frontal boundary again does not really move. It doesn't move out of here completely until you get into the day on later Friday night and into Saturday. Clearly, you can see the front's down offshore at this point, so it shouldn't be an issue at that point for the weekend. But in the meantime, of course, some other global models are keeping this isolated shower or thunderstorm possibility very isolated here. These light grays are very little, so the model's indicating there could be something pop up here, but it's not a widespread event here, so it's not going to put any high probability precipitation amounts on the map here. So that's basically what that gray is here. It doesn't really, you can't really pinpoint exactly where those are going to be. And as we get a little bit closer here to the weekend, you see these front is now further down the south. So all the models are pretty much in agreement on the same idea, both short range and long range. We're just going to have to watch for today, for how, if we do get some showers and thunderstorms move through late in the evening, and that would mainly favor southeast PA, southern New Jersey, and Delaware if that were to happen. So we'll be on top of that, again, not severe. And then we get into your day on Sunday. We could have an isolated thunderstorm later in the day here on Sunday. I think you're going to get a more concentrated shower and thunderstorm threat here as we get into later on Monday with a strong cold front that's going to be pushing through. But we're going to have to watch it after this point. The big story is going to be a vortex that's going to set up here in southeastern, basically over the Great Lakes. And if this were wintertime, it would be considered a polar vortex, but it looks like one of those deals where it's just going to get downright chilly here for a couple days. And by chilly, I mean for this time of year, temperatures might not even get out of the 70s. So for this time of year, it's not supposed to be that chilly, but this is in all response to a typhoon that is over in the Pacific, and that has a downstream effect on our weather here, believe it or not. What that does is actually the typhoon recurving in the Pacific like that will actually pump up a ridge, which will cause a trough in the east and the downstream. And that's, I think, what's going to end up happening here as we get in the middle to the end of next week, where we get back down into temperatures that are not going to get out of the 70s for highs. So it'll be very refreshing and spring-like, but not summer-like for a couple days until we get into probably the following weekend, or maybe the early week after that, until we start to moderate a little bit in temperatures, and then we start going above normal again as we get to the second half of this month. More on that as we get a little bit closer. We're getting a little bit too far out here in range to really be talking about that yet, but just know that cool down we're expecting to come at some point the middle to the end of next week. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for July 10th, 2014. Have a great Thursday.